bolt your windows, and turn off the lights.
Welcome to Michael Myers Minute, where we delve into the 1978 horror classic Halloween 1 minute at a time. I'm your host, Robert Black. Laurie, Tommy, and Lindsey return to the living room to watch Forbidden Planet as minute 62 begins. They have just finished their jack-o'-lantern. Laurie still wears an apron. Forbidden Planet is only a couple minutes ahead of Halloween, in the end of its minute 65. Farman, on TV. Alright, put it back on. Laurie sits down on the couch and sighs. Lindsey and Tommy cuddle up with her, one on either side. Second 8, the phone rings. Laurie gets up to answer it, and for some reason, Tommy says, "This is Forbidden Planet," and Lindsey's response to Tommy's mansplaining after they've been watching it together for at least a good part of the last hour is amazing. Lindsey, really? Humoring him and dismissing him at the same time. Laurie, Doyle House. Interior, Wallace House, night. Lynda lies on the couch in the dark. Bob lies on the couch, his head on her lap. Lynda, "Hi Laurie, what's up?" Laurie, "I was just sitting down for the first time tonight." Which is a lie. At this point it's maybe only about 10 p.m. Assuming the thing from another world started at 7, Forbidden Planet at 9. Laurie spent a while earlier sitting on the couch with Tommy, as we saw in minute 41, reading King Arthur and talking comics and almost the Boogeyman. And again in minute 45 watching The Thing from Another World and finally talking more about the Boogeyman. Actually, considering the reading before the first movie, maybe The Thing from Another World didn't start until 8, Forbidden Planet at 10, and now it's just after 11.
Don't you hate that?
Hate what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do we feel it's necessary to yak about bullshit in order to be comfortable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's what I had in my notes. I gotta interrupt my notes because, having recently watched Halloween 2 again, that's not possible. The earlier times are correct. Thing from Another World started at 7, Forbidden Planet at 9, because early in Halloween 2 they specifically say, I think that it's like 11:17 p.m. or something. I forget the exact time, but it's just after 11. And this is not right when Laurie is, like, it's not the opening sequence for Loomis is running to the sheriff. It's later. After it's been a little while. So basically, it's around 10 o'clock right now. As I said, we're in minute 65, with commercial breaks and everything else. That means we're probably actually somewhere close to 10:20, 10:30. So, Laurie's been sitting around a bit. Lynda, "Hey, is Annie around?" Laurie, "No, I thought she'd be home by now. She went to pick up Paul." Lynda, "Well, she's totally not here." Laurie, "Probably stuffed off someplace. Have her call me when she gets home, though. I have Lindsey here, and I want to know what time to put her to bed." Which is not the plan Laurie has in the novelization. She tells Lynda, "I've got to get Lindsey back over there before her parents come home." Which is a much better plan. No need to explain Lindsey in the neighbor boy's pajamas, or the two of them sharing a bed. Lynda, "Okay, later." Laurie, "Have a good time." Lynda, "We definitely will." Lynda hangs up the phone and grins. Cut to Laurie after the call is over. Laurie, "Bye." Cut to Lynda and Bob. Lynda, "Lindsey is gone for the night." Bob grins and rolls off of Lynda. Bob, "Yay, now that's wonderful." Bob pulls Lynda up from the couch. He turns off the lamp in the living room as they head for the stairs. Like Danny all those years ago in minute 4, Bob turns off the lamp as he leaves the room. Lynda leaves the frame, and Bob almost does, and the minute ends. But there's an IMDb goof just before we go. At around 1 hour, 2 minutes, while Bob and Lynda are heading up to the bedroom from the living room, Lynda trips on a dolly track and tries to ignore it. Early in my notes for this minute, I wrote, quote, "The dolly track would not be to the left of the route the camera takes if the camera was coming from the right. And I'm not even sure this is a dolly. As I've mentioned numerous times, this movie makes a lot of use of the Panaglide camera, which is attached to the cameraman. But, although his memory has been shown to be influenced by long-held supposed goofs before," I forget what minute it came up, minute 45, John Carpenter says that scenes from Forbidden Planet are out of order. He's wrong. Well, they are out of order, but they're deliberately out of order. It's a preview of what's to come. John Carpenter says in one of his commentaries that PJ Souls trips over a dolly track here. But rewatching the film recently on a larger screen, projected behind Sugarman Gallery twice last month, I figured out what is really going on with this goof. At the start of minute 61, as Lynda and Bob start to make out on the Wallace's couch, Lynda tosses her beer can onto the floor. There is no dolly in that shot. Probably. The camera follows Lynda and Bob from the door, which is on the right, to the left, then back right and into the living room. It closes in and angles down, then backs up to reveal Michael is watching. We can see the floor, we can see the beer can, and 1, we cannot see any dolly track, and 2, the distance the camera moves would be far too short to bother with the dolly. This is the inside entryway of a house, you know? The move in on Lynda halfway through this minute 62, feels a little more like a dolly, but the continuity of the beer can still being on the floor suggests this is just a Panaglade shot, but Dean or Ray are holding it low, if that's possible. Literally, it feels like they filmed the two parts of the scene together. But even if there was a dolly involved here, the spot where Lynda trips on something is where the can is. And it is a spot on the floor that we have just seen in this shot. There is no dolly track there. Anyway, that is all for minute 62. Michael Myers Minute is a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com. You can stalk me on Twitter and Facebook at Myers Minute or Instagram Michael Myers Minute. Or join our Facebook listeners group 45 Lambkin Lane. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a nice review if you like what you hear. Until next time.